Hi, it's Tara again. You may or may not have known, but the last April was my birthday month, and I did do some shopping. Yes. Previously, I was going through a phase where I was moving from my one office to another, and just like restructuring some stuff at home, and I have separated out like a whole table of perfumes that I'm really ambiguous about. Some I really wanna sell off right away. The other ones I'm just, on the fence about. But I just wanted to take them out 'cause, my closet shelves were, like, caving. Yes, can you believe it? I mean, these shelves were old, and granted, they were kind of, like, caving, slightly bent before, but after I, like, stacked, like, hundreds of perfumes on them, they were kind of bowing. They were no longer just, like, bending. It was like a really noticeable curve. So I took them out. I put them on a fold-out table to relieve the stress on them, and so I can, go through them at my own pace and try to sell them off. Unfortunately, okay, so one of the first ones that I wanted to sell off was the, jasmine marzipan, the Lancome one that's in the beautiful, like, gilded gold floral design bottles, and, I was eager to sell that one off because I wanted it to go to a really good home because I thought very highly of it. Even though I don't love it myself, I really did not want it to sit around being unused and unappreciated. So I thought, I'm gonna put this on eBay and I'm gonna let it go to a good home. And I put it on for a good price. It wasn't like much it was just a little less than what I paid for it. You know what I mean? I only used it like a maximum of 2 times, like 2 or 3 sprays maximum, okay? So it was practically unused, and it was in a great condition box and everything, and yeah, so I sold it, and, lo and behold, uh, I have been using eBay for many years, like in excess of a decade, okay? But previous to that, I had sold things on like Yahoo Marketplace or whatever, something really old. Yeah, and I had no problems. But this one time, someone tried to defraud me, and I'm so upset about it. It's like been over a month, but I'm still so traumatized over it that I'm now reluctant to, like, try to sell these other ones. So now these other ones are just kinda sitting in limbo on my table for when I, like, can get my courage back up again to do it. And the worst thing is, you know how I feel personally about my perfumes? Like, I felt like I let my perfume go to a bad, unethical person, and that even makes me feel worse about it, you know what I mean? Not that perfumes don't have feelings, hello. But yeah, I just have that feeling in me, So it's not rational. Check out my, necklace. I bought this off Etsy. It's a whole bunch of beads, and they're really hard to keep straight. I'm pretty sure I messed it up already. But anyways, here it is in its slightly messy glory. So, anyways, that's kind of been like a blotch on my happiness recently. And I don't want to get into the details because it's still like it gets my blood boiling. You know what I mean? Basically, what happened was someone tried to accuse me of sending them a handmade travel spray when I actually sent the whole thing, the whole, like, bottle. They were trying to pull this trick because they wanted not to have to pay for something and then get to keep my perfume. And, so I am just absolutely livid, and now I mean, once my trust is gone or lost, it takes a really, really long time for it be to come back. I mean, yeah, I think, like, I'm just not a brave person that way. I'm just not, like, you know so, yeah, it's putting like a sort of like a stain. So for my birthday, I wanted to cheer myself up. And one of the ways that I was cheered up was by getting this. Yay! So this is Labo Iris 39. As you know, Iris is one of my favorite notes, and I tend to like the more rooty, earthy, like forest floor type of irises, and the orris root, you know, the kind of carroty, um, thick, waxy, starchy ones versus the strictly powdery ones. So orris root is very expensive, and not a lot of perfumes have the right composition where it's just the almost like the perfect mix that I like. One of them is a silver iris water by Serge Lutens, and that thing is discontinued. And then I really loved Iris 39 by Labo, but I had only gotten the teeny weeny like travel spray. And that one I've had for a couple of years, and I've used more than half, but I've been kind of like not really wanting to use the rest of it because of, you know, I'm hoarding and I'm being cheap. Le Labo was so expensive. But the thing is, I never thought that they would discontinue it, and they did. So, when I went to Paris, they told me that it was discontinued at the store, and they only had it at this one store, the main store, and they can concoct it for me. And for some reason, I was in denial. Like, I thought, no, I could have sworn I saw some on sale, like, you know, online, you know, I'll just go buy it at my, you know, that was right after I went to Paris, and I lost my credit card. So I didn't want to borrow my companion's credit card just to buy a perfume, you know, because it seemed like so frivolous. But then when I came back and I looked through all the perfume websites, it was indeed gone. I went to the San Francisco like boutique thinking they can just concoct it for me, and they said they couldn't because they're not selling it anymore. So I was like, "Oh my god." Another thing is I only bought the travel spray, so in USA you can actually send away to the you can send your old used 50 ounce or 100 milliliter bottle to Le Labo through the mail, and it will take a while, like maybe a week or so, for the Iris 39, and they will concoct it, and then they will send it back to you. But only if you had bought those larger bottles before. So I had just the stupid travel spray. So of course, you know, that wasn't even an option for me. So what I did, and I couldn't buy a new one. So what I did was I went onto Fragrantica just so I can read people's like, you know, reviews and say goodbye. And, you know, think about having to hoard like that little tiny amount even more. And so what I did was I was reading it, and they said that um, the Lucky Sense in Los Angeles, California, would be able to get this for me, a new bottle. So I was like, "Oh my god," and I saw the review was just done, like, earlier this year. So I went on the website, and then I went and got a bottle. And yeah, so now I have my own very own 50 ml bottle. So I was really tempted to get like the 100 ml because it's hard to come by. But then for some reason, my cheapness comes in at the weirdest time. So I only got like this 50 ml. But it was not just the cheapness alone. It was because I looked up the Iris note, and I got this also. So this is, I think, Angelos Creations Olfactive Irida Extrait. So this has a huge portion of iris in it. And it also has carrot seeds, orris, cloves, jasmine, and all that. So the original one is actually the famous one. It's kind of got like a cult type of following. So I thought, you know what? If the original one is that good, let me just straight out buy the buy this one, the Extrait. So this was launched in 2023, and it's got top notes of violet leaf, Tunisia neroli, orris, cinnamon, clove, carrot seed, violet, jasmine. It's got all the stuff. It's got like amyris, Haitian vetiver, guaiac wood, labdanum. Yes. However, and it's also supposed to have like 15% irones, which is like orris, which is supposed to be, and it's an Extrait version, so it's 33% concentration, which is like just freaking insane. And it has 15% irones orris butter. It's one of the highest quality and value, and yeah, this and that of Iris Polita from France and Glorious, like raw materials and stuff like that. So I was thinking, wow, this must be like amazing. And to my big disappointment, and I've only tried it once, it seems like it's too thick. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe I should have just bought like the regular one instead, because it's got all the notes that I like. So this is like a really thick, kind of slightly fruity. Yeah, it's really thick and fruity, fruitier than I like. I feel like it might actually benefit from being thinned out. And I feel really bad saying that. I will, I will put it back. See, it comes in this bottle. I would put it back and try it some other day. And yeah, and see what happens. So I was really disappointed in that. However, I got back my Labo iris, so I'm not, it was like kind of like, yay, nay, kind of feeling. So the reason why I like this is because it has like a colder, more, I don't know. Somehow I feel like iris, the reason why the other one was not so, the iris, this one extract, was, even though they tried so hard, it wasn't as successful to me as the Labo, is because I feel like this is just too condensed. Sometimes when you have too many heavy weight notes, it squeezes the air out of stuff. It's like it's kind of flatter, you know what I mean? It doesn't like spiral around, like it's not like a delicate lacy network of scent molecules dancing in the air, you know what I mean? It's kind of like the airiness is squashed out, like from the I imagine from the weight of the heaviness of the concentration. So I don't know what to do with this. I really don't. I know they meant well. I know it's not like a bad composition, but I just feel like I can't appreciate this. So I don't know what to do. I don't know whether I should try to thin it out, like decant it and thin it out. Would that ruin it? So anyways, I'm just going to let it sit in its box. Maybe it just needs to macerate or something. And it was just like too thick from getting it. I'll revisit it in 6 months to see what happens. Maybe it does better in like wetter climate or colder climate or hotter climate. I'll see. But anyways, yeah, I was foraying into something new, and yeah, you take your risk. But I'm really glad to have this back in my life. This is, I think I might in a few months, like actually, if they still have it, just go ahead and get the large bottle. This is actually one of the, what do you call it? I can, even though I would never say I have a signature scent, this can be one of my signature scents. You know what I mean? I think like this kind of perfume is just like timeless for me. I can't conceive of a time when I'm sick of this perfume. I mean, although albeit I'm very like I zealously guard against that type of situation by taking breaks, not overdoing one thing. You know what I mean? Because I feel like the body kind of reacts to these things. I mean, they are chemicals after all. So you have to be careful not to um, tire yourself out from this. So yeah, it's kind of like a delicate dance. It kind of needs a little bit of discipline for you not to get sick of stuff. And I think that's also why I have such a big collection, is because every time I'm on the verge of hating something, I just kind of like step back, put it aside, and then 6 or 8 months later, maybe even years later, I might all of a sudden get a liking for it, you know? And I remember that specifically because I had previously impulsively sold like almost like 30 to 40 bottles at once, and then feeling regret and wanting to smell something else. So now I don't do that. Yeah, but I do have a lot of perfumes that I do want to. I mean, those perfumes were all from the glory days when collecting was so cheap. And we were talking about things were going for 20, 30, $40 on FragranceNet, because a lot of those were largely super unknown, like sort of niche or smaller houses, and Americans were not at that time ready for that type of collection. And I was able to get like almost all of them from that time. But the problem with getting all of them from that one era is that then you don't have that much space or bandwidth to enjoy the new one. So my advice is probably don't buy too many at one time. You know what I mean? There's always something new on the horizon that, you know, you kind of like regret buying like all from the same era. A lot of times the technology would have changed for the better, like this. This is really good. This probably would not have been, um, it probably would not have been able to be composed with the way they were doing things back then. Yeah, so this is like a reason why you should leave some like space, money, you know, bandwidth open for the future. And I remember doing like one time I liked this one thing so much that I bought like I bought like I bought 20 pairs of jeans. I mean, albeit they were super cheap and on sale. And I really liked it. And then because I had bought so much, I didn't buy anything else. And then one time I remembered actually hating them. You know, they looked all dated, and you know, who wants to have all the entire bottoms be like denim? You know what I mean? It just doesn't even make any sense. But at the time when I was buying them, I was under the assumption, which is almost always false, that I would never like any other pants again, that I would not like any other styles again. And that is generally false. I mean, can you imagine if you liked shopping that you're done with shopping? Seriously, that just won't happen. The human mind will always think, it's always drawn to like novelty. Even for people like me who like hold on to stuff, we still like novelty, albeit not a lot, but you know, some. So we have to leave some money. We have to leave something behind, so we can have, be receptive to stuff in the future. Oh, that's just my 2 cents anyways. But yeah, that was my, birthday haul, something part of my birthday haul. I'll do the second part later. But yeah, those were my Irish ones. Okay, talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye.